Player, coach, training director, commentator, you name it, he's done it. And now book author Alex Compton has pretty much done it all throughout his life in the Philippines.
Coach Alex just came up with his first book titled Guiding Your Child's Athletic Journey. And to tell us more about it, we've got Coach Alex himself, the man who taught me how to shoot free throws.
Did he really?
Yes, along with his co-author, Kevin Delafu, who's also a former player and currently a coach.
Six-time
Coach of the Year. There you go. Good evening, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play.
Awesome to see you guys. I really would have liked my number one thing in the intro to be
What?
former co-host of Cheska Litin.
That
Would have been that should have been
Also
at
my
the top.
former
That should have been at the top.
Remove everything.
Yes, that's all that matters, man.
Well, welcome.
You know the
Good
deal.
seeing you as always.
Good
Coach.
to see you
Maraming
too.
salamat.
Yeah,
Coach,
thank you.
for being here on the show. This is just awesome. We're just, so happy.
I love seeing
Yes.
Alex. So nice meeting you. First of all, we obviously need to talk about this book, Guiding Your Child's Athletic Journey. This was just launched a week ago. You guys flew out here, had your book launch. So sorry I couldn't make it.
Yeah. Kevin cried. I held him a little bit. He's okay now. We'll be good.
Did you say you were going to? No?
No, I wasn't telling him.
Okay.
I
kind of promised I was going, but I didn't. So.
No, I knew what I was doing that day.
Okay.
But how was it? How did everything go?
That was great. You know, it was just the whole process of writing it was fun. And then for me, because I spent 22 years of my life here, I was surprised when I saw one of my ninongs come down the stairs. And then another ninong and ninang. And then another friend who had just flown in from Arizona who had raised her kids with my kids. Like, we were close. So it was a bunch of people I had seen, and it was kind of just a homecoming and a joyous thing to release something that was really from our hearts, you know?
So you guys are co-authors of this. This is just awesome. Guiding your child's athletic journey. Of course, it doesn't mean like basketball per se, but just getting a child into sports at an early age. Coach Kevin, like you, good friends with Alex, what made you guys decide to let's do this? Two great basketball minds come up together, come up with this book.
Yeah, so it started with, we have a mutual friend who wrote another book called Wisest Learners, and it's really an academic, it's a book to help parents with academic learning. And we read that together, or separately, we read it, and then coming from that, we were like, hey, we should write a book for this athletic journey of for these athletes. And so that's kind of how it started. Really, it's kind of as we wrote the book, it was a book for us as well. We continued to grow in our own parenting as we did studies, looking at research. And so that's been the kind of the exciting part about it, is we've learned as parents that we get to apply now as well.
And then, of course, aside from that, you're also here for the National Basketball Training Center National Finals. I mean, your son is also with you. What's your role there? How have you been helping it? How have things been going over there?
So I was one of the co-founders with Coach Eric Altamirano, and now I live in the U.S. So Coach E, Marissa, their family runs everything. But I still am a part from afar, so I'm back for it. And it was so cool because our book launch coincided with the NBTC, which wasn't our plan initially, but his son was playing it. So it was just like this awesome timing and confluence of events.
I thought you specifically planned the book launch to go along with the trip.
It just, when we finished it, it happened. It'll be right around NBTC time. And Maceo, his son, was coming back to play, so it was perfect.
And so I'm just a dad. And so I really get to apply some of these principles that we wrote about in the book as a dad, how to be a fan, how to encourage, how to walk him through this athletic journey. Because at home, I'm his coach, but this week, I've been able to be his dad, and that's been
awesome.
really fun.
For those who intrigue about the book, before I ask what's next for you, Coach Alex, but I just opened a random page here, From Zero to Hero, the Sunny Hill League and the Birth of the Mamba Mentality. It's just one of the stories here. So for those wondering, what are they going to get and find from this book?
So we kind of structured it in a way where we share a personal story that links to research, but we don't want to get too nerdy with the research. We can both get a little bit nerdy with it. So we just made it real palatable. So here's our story that's connected to this research, and then here's some practical tips for parents, and then each question is, each chapter ends with questions to help you look inwards. Like, how am I raising my kid? How am I doing with this practice of motivation? Am I pushing them too hard? What's their context look like? Context. And so more than anything, it's just really to be like a guide and informative, but help you look at yourself and how you're raising your kids.
And I mean, obviously, 6-time Coach of the Year, well-loved player, coach, I mean, the Alex Compton in the Philippines. We used to joke around that if you ever hurt Alex Compton, angels would come down and beat you up.
I don't doubt that though.
He's that nice. He's that much of a good guy.
I do not doubt that.
So,
not one bit, yeah.
I mean, when you listen to, dads so openly talking about, forming relationships and wanting to guide their kids properly, I mean, does that put any kind of pressure on you at all, knowing that maybe other people don't see our ways as the right ways, or, how do you communicate without imposing?
Well, it's a great question, and Kevin probably has a more eloquent answer, but for me, it all kind of culminated when I was writing the epilogue, and my dad had a stroke. So we're basically done with the book, and I'm sitting next to my dad in the hospital room. It's 2 a.m., and I have to write the epilogue, and I realized before I was a father, I was a son. And I love my dad so much. Not everybody has that, but my sports memories with him are good ones, and I'm grateful. And when my day comes, I want my kids to feel that same way. And so if we can build something and do something together that makes our kids feel loved and grateful when we're in that position, which is coming for all of us, then we've done something.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I would just like to add, as all of us as parents, we have so much passion for our kids. And one thing about this book is we don't want our passion to become our children's burden.
Oh, that's beautiful.
And so we want to help them, we want to navigate them, but when we love them and there's so much of that passion, sometimes it just becomes heavy on the kid, and that's when they get burnt out. Yeah. And so we're hoping that as this book and they walk through this, that passion turns into support and guidance, and really at the end of the day through youth sports is character building and for who they are when they grow up.
Mm-hmm. Coach, before we let you both go, we wish I had more time, but I'm sure you've heard. Yesterday, they just announced 10 more players to add to the PBA Greatest 50 and now the Greatest Players list. What was your reaction upon hearing the names? Of course, Junmar Fajardo, Scotty Thompson, among others.
Jeffrey Carriazo.
The Bull, Jeffrey Carriazo, the Jet, good friend of yours. The Bull, Nelson Aceton, among others, also part of that.
Well, so when you look at those things, it's always a matter of the criteria and how they judge it. Everybody can argue about this for the next 10 years. But I'm glad the veteran players, the older guys, got in. Like, the respect that I've heard people, I didn't get to see Nelson, but at like the very, very end of his career. But when I talked to the all-time greats and the respect that they have for Nelson, I just felt like, buti na lang. Like you don't, when the all-stars of all-stars are like, this guy was incredible, that means something. So a lot of the veterans getting in was great. I know I had talked about characteristics where, like, I just always thought Jeff was a winner. He's just a winner on both sides of the ball. And this coaches, you want winners. And so there's a lot of Danny Siegel, just an incredible scorer, just a great player. So all those guys deserve it. And I feel like if you're even in the conversation, like whatever anybody voted, that means people are like, wow, you're an amazing player. Congratulations. So just congratulations, everybody.
I know we have to say goodbye quickly. May chance pa bang babalik ka dito mag-coach? I know you're happy in the US. May chance pa
only if you're coming out of retirement.
Hindi naman. Pero may chance pa. You coach?
I don't think so. My kids are so happy in the US.
So US.
Yeah.
All the best to you, Coach.
Thanks, Trey.
Where can they find your book? Where is this available?
So fully booked here, and you get it at BGC specifically, and then you can get it on Amazon as well. And so easy to get.
All right. Thank you so much. Guiding Your Child's Athletic Journey by Coach Alex Compton and Coach Kevin Delafu. Thank you so much for your time. It was wonderful having you on the show. We hope to see you guys here again.